It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Southern Louisiana Director of Marketing and Student Promotions, Autumn Boland. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to work inside college athletics?
Yeah, so it was pretty atypical background for me when I was in college. I actually entered college as a pre-dentistry major and then kind of realized that wasn't the route I wanted to take. And so I actually transferred into exercise science, pre-physical therapy, to set course to become a PT someday, and work with athletes and students. And so I didn't necessarily want to get into the business side of athletics right away until I was in my last year of undergrad, during my fall semester. And I didn't want to be a PT. I didn't see myself spending the rest of my life doing that. And so I actually sat down with a lady I was an academic advisor for and was just asking her for advice on what to do. I'd already planned to go to grad school, but I just wasn't sure the route I was to take. And so she was the one that kind of put me in the direction of going to grad school for athletics, whether that was to become like an athletic director or, anything in sports management. And I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. I love working in sports. I was a college athlete. I played sports all my life. And so I started looking into graduate programs and, started applying to some, took my GRE, and then I started working for my athletics department under my assistant athletic director at my small Division III college. And I loved it. I enjoyed it. I got accepted into college. I actually started my master's program at the University of Georgia. And I knew I wanted some more experience, though, to get into athletics. So that's ultimately kind of how I ended up in Louisiana the first go around, was because of an internship opportunity to help kind of build my resume before grad school.
What was it like going from working in professional sports to obviously going back to college athletics?
It's a different environment. You kind of have to work a little bit harder when it comes to college athletics, especially when you're at a mid-tier Division I school where you don't have 50,000 fans and whatnot. So, I mean, you do have to work a little bit harder because, if you're going to go to a Tampa Bay Bucks game, those seats are going to be filled. But when you come to one of our home football games, the goal is to always get seats filled because you don't have you know, that fan base that's always going to come. So you definitely have to grind a little bit harder and push it a little bit more.
What was it like working with the Canes Colt baseball team as the front office intern?
Yeah, it was a lot of work. It was an unpaid internship, which a lot of internships are in sports. And I had just moved down there. I'm originally from Iowa. I moved down to Louisiana to work this internship. And it was a grind. I mean, we were working 80 hours a week, unpaid, and just it was a lot, but it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot about myself and what kind of route I wanted to go into when it came to athletics, because I wasn't sure, where I sat with, did I like marketing better? Did I like sales? Did I like operations? And it gave me a little taste of everything. So I did like that. And I did meet a lot of great people that, worked in the industry and still work in the industry. It was a culture change, but I really enjoyed that summer.
What was it like getting the opportunity to work with the Kentucky Derby, of course, in management?
Yeah, it was phenomenal. Probably hands down one of my favorite moments I've ever worked in sports. I worked the Kentucky Derby in 2019, and that Kentucky Derby actually ended with a race where the horse that won the race got disqualified. And so, I mean, I was able to be like kind of right there on the finish line. And when everybody saw the horse pass, I mean, people fainted, people were cheering. I mean, people were chugging their alcohol. I mean, it was crazy. And then a lady had passed out right next to me in like near the winner's circle where the horse walks into after they win. And because she thought she had won like $200,000 because of the horse. And then she like woke up from being after passing out, and it comes to find out the horse got disqualified. So then she passed out again because she didn't win the $200,000 and lost money. And so that was just so neat to be able to be a part of like the best 3 minutes in sports. I mean, there's nothing like it. I didn't really understand horse racing at first, but walking away from that event, I had so much more appreciation for it, so much more appreciation for, the people that attend it yearly, and it rains almost every year on the Derby Day. And I have so much appreciation, just for the sport, because it's nitty gritty and it's a lot of work and it's very expensive.
What was it like for you to obviously return back to the Coulter's baseball as the assistant general manager?
Yeah, it was a lot different after being there as an intern and then moving into like a full-time role. You just don't see a lot of the back end stuff that you see when you're an intern as a full-time. You do a lot more sales, you did a lot more management, and there's always like a long list of things to do because we were very small staff. There's only 2 of us full-time with that team. And so, I mean, you had to do it all. And so it was definitely a transition that took me a little bit longer to grasp than, going from a front office to full-time.
How was it for you when you got the opportunity to go back to Southern Louisiana, obviously
Uh,
to work in
yeah.
marketing?
I started at Southeastern in corporate sales, and, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the people that I met, but ultimately I kind of knew that sales wasn't the route I wanted to stay in and wasn't, what I was super passionate about. I knew I was close to figuring it out, and I loved being able to work with marketing at the university and being able to see things executed. And so, when I got the opportunity to jump back, into marketing here at the university, I just kind of took off running, and I've honestly enjoyed every second of it.
What are some of your roles as director of marketing and student promotions?
Yeah, so I do honestly a little bit of everything. Some of my biggest roles are I am a manager, so I do have 3 full-time people working under me, and I do have a graduate assistant, and I have student workers and student interns. So I handle all of that. Also setting promo schedules for the fall sports, winter sports, spring sports, event management and coordination. We do outside of athletic events like games, we do student events, where we kind of kick off the season. So in the fall, we do our Strawberry Jam, which is like a kickoff for the fall sports. We have soccer, football, and volleyball there. They speak. A couple thousand students come. We have food, music, rock walls, like kind of just like this big event. And then we also do another one that's our full court fest for basketball to kind of kick off the basketball season. Same kind of vibe. We have students participate in like a free throw contest, a 3-point contest, a shooting contest, and the winners can take home like AirPods, TVs, big things like that. But overall, like my main job as the director of marketing is to get students at the games and to get like butts in the seats. We get most of our budget from student fees. So my goal is to always push for activities for students. So a lot of the promotions that we do at our games are student focused, student driven, because we want students to come here. We are an above average school for commuters. So we do have a larger population of commuters than probably an average size of the school. And so our goal is to keep people on campus. So once we keep them on campus, the goal is, well, okay, they're here. What can we get them, one, to stay here and come back? So we do a lot of, cool promotions where we try, new things that maybe we haven't tried before, or we continuously go back to things that work because students enjoy them so much.
What are some of your favorite promotions that y'all have done so far?
Yeah, so we do a lot. Like last week, we did a Halloween volleyball game and got dressed up. We did soccer for pink out. We did green out games. We didn't get to execute a lot of our promotions this fall because we did have a hurricane and we were out of school for the whole month of September. So we actually just started all of our promotions back up at the beginning of this month. And things had been kind of shaky from that. So we weren't able to execute a lot we had set for the fall, but we have some exciting ones for like basketball. Really excited to do. We're going to do like a Canadian tuxedo night where everybody dresses in jean. We play throwback music from the 90s. We also have a women's basketball game that is kind of close to Christmas. So we're going to do a Christmas game where we play Christmas music. We have a person dressed up as Santa. People can maybe make hot cocoa, decorate cookies, and just kind of have fun stuff like that.
What is it like to obviously market and promote on game day?
Yeah, so for game day, a lot of it is really just our social media posts because we try to build throughout the week, build the pressure for people to come by posting, videos, photos, graphics, all of that. And then on game day, really, I just focus on the game day entertainment. So I don't do a lot of like the marketing. It's now everything that I've marketed, it's time to execute. And so on a game day, my graduate assistant and I will drive around on our gator through tailgates. We'll hand out promo items. We'll take pictures of everybody. We'll interact with people. And then when it comes time for gates to open, we set up our marketing table in the main concourse where my student workers will hand out any of the promo items we're giving out for the football game. And then my job is to make sure everything runs smoothly for pregame, the band's performance, the national anthem, our flyover, make sure the team runs out on time because we are an ESPN affiliated school. So our team has to run out of the tunnel at a certain time. And it's my job to make sure that the team does that. And then during in-game, a lot of it's like sponsored content. So executing everything that our corporate sales have sold. So whether that's, stuff on the video board, whether that's running like a PA announcement, whether that's running a commercial or an on-field promo, anything like that, my goal is to execute that now since it had been sold.
What advice would you give those people that are looking to transition from working in professional sports to getting in the college world and working in college sports?
Yeah, it is a different beast in itself. Especially when you work at a mid-sized Division I school, you do it all. And so just understanding that, if your role was a certain thing in professional sports, you may be more hands-on with a whole bunch of other stuff in college athletics. It's kind of everybody helps everybody out, because you just don't have the numbers like you do in professional sports.
What advice would you give those people looking to work in college athletics on the marketing side and promotion side?
Yeah, the biggest thing is to get involved while you're in undergrad. I think that was the biggest regret that I had in college was that I didn't kind of figure this out sooner. And so I was kind of behind everybody in my master's program when it came to like resume. And so getting involved sooner, reaching out, like LinkedIn is probably the best source to connect with people, to meet people, introduce yourself to people. And so just making those connections, with people in college athletics, whether it's like at a university you want to go to, whether it's, honestly anything, is just making those connections with the people in the position that you want to be, taking time to meet with them, ask them, and just getting involved. I mean, whether that's being a student worker at your university, whether that's being a graduate assistant, I mean, it's a grind, but it's worth it if you work for it.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media along with the Southern Louisiana Athletic Program at?
Yeah, so you can find Southeastern Athletics at Lion Up Athletics on all platforms. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Autumn Boland.
Thank you again, Autumn Boland, for your interview, and best of luck in your future with the Southeastern Louisiana.
Thank you.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Autumn, for your interview, and best of luck in your future.
Thank you. You too.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.